Turn on the mic, please. Thank you.
My name is Michael McCown, and I'm here representing myself and my wife, Callie, in support of SB1. Chairman Perry and the members of the committee, I want to thank each of you for inviting us, the families who lost our daughters at Camp Mystic during the Kerr County floods, to participate in this hearing and let our voices be heard. We had a daughter, Linnie. She was 8 years old. She is dead. On July 31st, we were unable to attend the joint hearing in Kerrville. Our lives have been devastated by Linnie's death, and we are only just beginning the long process of recovery. On July 4th, while driving to Kerrville to pick up my daughter, I received an email from Camp Mystic stating, "If you have not been personally contacted, then your daughter is accounted for." I felt a wave of relief, which was quickly shattered about 30 minutes later when my wife called, incredibly distraught, to say that Linnie is missing. She just got off the phone with the camp. She is unaccounted for. Over the next 48 hours, I was called to the Grimes Funeral Home to identify two bodies. One was not Linnie, but the other, I believed, was Linnie. Once the Texas Rangers took over the identification and recovery process, I returned to Kerrville from Austin to provide a DNA swab. Additionally, on July 5th, while searching for Linnie downstream of Camp Mystic, I found a deceased young girl. With the assistance of Wilson County Sheriff's deputies and National Forest Service personnel, we were able to retrieve her body and send her home. I recount these events to emphasize that I had no desire to return to Kerr County for those initial hearings. But I am now ready to speak. Linnie was the middle child between her brothers Bates, who's 11, and George, who's 3. To Bates, she was the pesky but beloved little sister. To George, she was a gentle, playful mother figure. On the weekends, she would even pour him Cheerios and milk so my wife and I could get a couple more minutes of rest. To everyone else, she was a joy. She hugged her teachers, was a friend to everybody, and spread an infectious giggle everywhere she went. On July 3rd, the first flash flood advisory went out in Kerr County, forecasting potential flash flooding through the weekend. Early that next morning, on July 4th, a flash flood warning was issued, and those warnings escalated in number and severity throughout that morning. We trusted Camp Mystic with her precious life, but that trust was broken in the most devastating way. The camp had a heightened duty of care, and they failed to perform. That failure cost 25 campers and 2 young counselors their lives. No one had to die that day. I still remember standing near Bubble Inn the morning of July 5th amidst the wreckage of camp, looking at the cabins and asking myself, how, why, how could these girls vanish into the night without anyone having eyes on them? While cabins, literally just 20 yards away, had no casualties. So what went wrong? When I was in school, we had fire drills. Teachers did not need to be told to line up the kids and head for the exit. They did not need to check with their superiors. If the alarm went off, the school was evacuated. No fire drill I've ever heard of evacuates only one part of a building while leaving others behind. It didn't even cross my mind that a camp like Mystic wouldn't have a detailed emergency procedure in place. When action was finally taken, it was too little, too late. We did not send Linnie to a war zone. We sent her to camp. We trusted she would be safe. No parent should ever again face what we are living through now. Camp is supposed to be a safe place, a place where kids can grow, learn about themselves and each other, and take on some adventure while away from the modern life. Yes, there are risks in outdoor activities, but there was never a question in my mind that a camp would not be prepared for them. I do not hate camp. I went to Camp Alcone Springs outside of Marble Falls for several years. I sincerely believe in camp, and I doubt you will find one person after me who will have ill things to say about the idea of summer camp. I believe that being disconnected from electronics for a time is very healthy for kids, but that disconnection should be superficial. Behind the scenes, the back office and the foundation of summer camp must be fully up to date. Safety measures must not lag behind. The measures in this bill, keeping cabins out of floodplains, requiring real emergency plans, mandating weather radios and alert systems, should already be the baseline for every summer camp. It will hurt my family forever that for reasons I still do not know, these protections were not in place or not thought out thoroughly for my daughter and the rest of the girls here. SB1 cannot bring Linnie back, but it can save other children. Please pass this bill, protect our kids, and do not let their deaths be in vain. That is all.